crafters. In tonight's video we're going to be making a fun holiday card, and we're going to be using the sophisticated Sled photopolymer stamp set and dies. For the background paper we're going to be using basic white cardstock along with the Snowy Skies 3D embossing folder. Hi, I'm Joan and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Paper Crafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by, and if you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we'll get started. Here's that card we're going to be making tonight. It's a sophisticated sled, and I have two sleds sliding down the hill here. Let's see what we used to make that card. We used sophisticated sled, and we used this stamp and this stamp, and I used the dies out of the rest of it. So let me get those dies out of here. We've got this for the bouquets, this for the sled, this for the shoestrings, this is for the skates and the rest of the skate, and this is for the sled. And I don't think I used anything else here. And we're going to need to do our paper first. And we use a piece of the thick basic white cardstock at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. That would be 14 centimeters by 21.6 centimeters. And we need it scored at 4.25 inches. And I don't have this scored, so let me bring my trimmer in. And I'm going to score this at 4.25 inches. We have these two blades on here. This is the scoring blade, and this is the trimming blade. And I'm going to move that down the track. But before I do that, I want to bring in another one. I added a third blade, and I wrote glitter on it. I put a dull blade in here so that I can cut my foils and glitter paper without getting this really dull. And the other trick I've learned recently is you shouldn't always cut in the same direction. So I'm normally pushing up, so this time I'm going to pull down. And that allows you to use both sides of the blade by doing that. And I didn't need to cut at all. Be right back. So I'm going to place it at 4.25 inches. And we'll just move this blade out of the way. And then we've got our scoring blade, and we're just going to go back a couple times. And then we've got our score there. Then you just simply want to fold and burnish that. And I'm going to burnish it on both sides. Let me get this folded first. And I burnish it on both sides so that we get it a nice crisp edge here. Then the next piece we have is a piece of basic white cut at 4.25 inches by 5.5 inches. And that would be 10.8 centimeters by 21.6 centimeters. And I'm going to put this in our Snowflake Sky embossing folder. And we want it to have it be this direction. So we want a landscape direction. So I'm going to put it in this way. And I'm going to bring up our cut and emboss machine. And for this one, we need to have the plate number 1 and plate number 4. So this is plate number 1. And then this is plate number 4. And I'm going to get this paper in here. There we go. And I'm going to line it up where this line is. There. And then we're going to put it in with the folded edge toward the center of the embossing machine. And we'll put plate number 4 in there. Then we just crank it out. So let me get that out. So that worked really well. And I'm just going to set this aside for right now. And then we're going to do some die cutting next. So next we want this pattern here. So we need a number 1. Number 2 and 2 number 3s. So here's my number 1. Here's a number 2. Number 3, you can't see the number though because it's well loved and well worn. Here's our second number 3. And what we want to do is, let's put a couple things in here for our sandwich. We needed to do our skate. Let me see, we've got all these here. Let me get them out. So we need to do our skate. That's the blade there in the silver foil. We need to do the skate itself in the white cardstock. We need to do our shoestrings in that pink. We need our sled in the cherry cobbler. And our swag for the top of the sled. And this one I'm going to tape down because I don't want it to move. There's no wiggle room on this one. I'm going to use this tape here. And the tape I'm using is our Post-it label cover-up tape. It sticks securely, it removes cleanly, and you can use it over and over. So that's enough for right now, and we'll just put this on and crank it through. And we did a pretty good job there. This sled just fell off. And I'm going to just slide them all down here. So we have one more we want to do. We'll bring this in. We're going to make that same sandwich. And then we're going to use the frame for the sled. And I'm going to use that tape that we had before so that doesn't turn and slide off the paper there. There. And we'll do one more. And so I think I'm done with this. So I'm going to just pack it away. We'll haul it away. Okay, here's all our different pieces. This is that bouquet, or not a bouquet, it's a swag. And I'm just going to poke this out. Try pulling it off. There we go. And there's a little piece that needs to come out that center there. So we have that done. We'll take this. These are waist pieces, and then the rest of it stuck in here yet. That's for the sled. And we already have these here. I'm going to poke this out of here. There we go. We got those two done. And we got these we got to do. It should poke that out. Got one there. I'm going to bring them back in your view. Then we've got our shoelaces. And these are all pieces of scrap paper that I use for cutting these out. All except for this piece here. And that was cut at 3¼ inches by 4 inches. 3¼ inches is 8.3 centimeters and 4 inches is 10.2 centimeters. Okay, let's do that one on this side. And then need to poke these out of here. There we go. I should tell you, I already did the other skate and the other sled, so we're only going to do half of this here. See, here's the other one that's already done. And here's the sled portion. Here's the other part of the swag. So we got those two swags. We need the sled here. Trying to poke the right one to get this going here. There we go. And I'm just popping out all these dead pieces. They should not be here. Trying to get that off of the back. So this has holes here, so it looks like you've riveted the sled down. That's why I wanted to make sure we got all those done. And then we just need to have space between our boards so that you can see that we've got a sled and not just a slab of wood there. All right, let me see, what else do we need? So we can start piecing this together. Let me get my silicone mat. And we're going to use our glue, and we're going to use this multi-purpose glue. Only I have it in this little bottle here so that it's easier to do in these small spaces here. And when you do this, we're going to want to have it line up on the rivets here, on these two here. That's what we're going to rivet it down. And then the gray here, the gray bar there. So this bar, and then the rivets. And then the middle bar is going to be above those rivets. So I'm going to just do this like this here. So I want to go up to where the rivets are going to be. And then in the middle section, you can do this up here, down here. I don't know if that's the right place to put it. And above those rivets there. And below these rivets here. Then you want to line it up so that the rivets are on that bar there, and that bar, and then on this bar here. Got a little extra glue there, so I'm just going to try and clean it up with my Take Your Pick tool. Then the next piece is this one here, and we can go all the way across. I'm sorry if my head was in your way. I'm going to try and be more aware of it today. Whoop, I'm going to take these out so we can get our rivet points. I'm going to try and be more aware of where my head is. I've got my room set up differently, so the camera's got a different position, but my head seems to have the same position, so it keeps getting in the way. All right, we've got those done. Next we can do our swags, and these I'm going to use a glue dot on those. And we're going to use the Mossy Meadow first, and I'm going to put it down right in the middle. And I'm doing it on that cross beam, so I'm going right here is where I have my glue dot. And then this is the top point, and that's where the sled starts. And I think I can put a glue dot here and here. Didn't do that on the other one, but I think I'll go back and do that on that as well. I'm going to just pull one off and lay it down there. Now, didn't quite get it in the right spot, but that'll be fine. Then we need this next one. We'll do it in the middle again, but I'm going to shift this so that it goes more to one side than the other. So I'm going to do it this way a little bit. So my glue dot is off-centered then. So there we go. And I'm seeing that this is attaching it to the glue dots that I put here and here because they were a little bit exposed. So that worked really well. The next is our skates. So let's go ahead and do our skates. I'm going to do this and bring our shoestrings over. I want to keep this up here where you guys can see it and keep my head out of the way, right? So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's this cut line on this skate right here. So you can use that to put this shoestring inside. So it goes there and up here. Get that in there again. And then what I do is I flip it over and I glue it down on the back side. You'll probably leave it just like that. It probably wouldn't fall out on you, but I don't want to take that chance. So I'm going to put some glue back here. And then I'm just going to press that, hold it for a few minutes. I should say a few seconds. And we'll leave it up there. Don't forget our skates. We've got this one, we'll do the same thing. And we're just going to put glue underneath there. Need to do it a little bit better than that. So I don't know if you can see, I just got a little bit of glue there. Then I'm going to just press it down again. And press this in. And we can pick that up. Then we can take these skate blades and we'll put them on the skate. So I'm going to line them up at the tip there and line up the blade itself, the bottom part of the blade. Okay, then I'm just going to take my own glue here. I lick my finger, and I'm trying to get the glue off from there. So I'm de-gluing it because I want to see the glossiness of the skate. So we'll do the same thing here, minus the licking. So you just want to put a little drops in there. And hopefully it'll stand up straight this time. And I didn't have to lick it this time. There, that worked better. So then those can be put onto here. So I just take this and have this be the first skate. And I'm just going to set it like this. And what I used for the shoestring is our Bubble Bath Pink. And the sled itself was Cherry Cobbler. And then the swags on top, the bottom one was Mossy Meadow, I remember telling you that, but the top one was Shaded Spruce. And then this sled was Shaded Spruce. And this skate was Early Espresso. And then these shoestrings are Real Red. So we got that taken care of. The only thing I need to do is put some gems on this one here. So I've got our gems, and I'm using the Rhinestone Basic Jewels, but I painted them in the red using the Cherry Cobbler. And all you need to do is go over the top. Now, I had discovered last time that this marker was already shredded pretty much. And so I use this to mark it because it goes quicker. Otherwise, I would use the nub end so not to damage the tip. That's all you got to do. I'm going to use that one last so that it gives it enough time to dry. And then we're going to put these on here. And we'll do that in the middle. Right about there. And I'll do one on each side. So I'll have like a cluster of 3 right in the middle there. That one stuck to my finger, so I thought might as well just go with it. And this one will go over on the right side, right about there. And then let's see, on the right side again, right about there. And this one next. We'll do that one right about there. And this one here. Up there. And what I do, just to make sure they're still rather red, I just go over this, touch it again. There. And I already did these, so those should be about as red as they can get. And next we need to bring in our cardstock, so let's do that to the side there. Just going to clean this up a little bit here. That's our Snowflake 3D embossing folder. And I have the cluster snowflakes at the top, and then they're thinned out toward the bottom. And so I'm going to stamp this before I put the skates on there. And we're going to use our basic gray. And we're just going to have it say, "Let it snow." We'll do it right here. There. And then we'll do the inside of the card. So let's bring our card back in. And I'm not going to do anything else on the inside. If you want, you could align this with a piece of Cherry Cobbler and then put a piece of basic white on there. But I'm just going to leave it completely white and then have our sentiment in there. And that's going to say, "I hope your days are filled with fun and laughter." And I'm looking at how this card is lined up on the grid here. And I see that it's lined up fine. So then I'm just centering it, the stamp on the card. Because if the card's square, then the stamp will be squared. All right, we can close this up. And next we'll bring in our Stampin' scrub and clean these off. We only have the 2 stamps, so not going to take very long. And we're going to use our Stampin' Mist. And what this does, it allows me to, I'm going to stamp on here first. That'll get most of the ink off of here. And then it allows me to keep our scrubbing tool clean. Very good. All right, we are done with that. Okay, let's bring this back in here. So we need to glue our snowflakes on here. And this matches from edge to edge. So this was a piece of cardstock cut at 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. That would have been 10.8 centimeters by 14 centimeters. And let's put some glue on the inside here. I'll glue some up here, and I should have had my silicone mat out. So let me get this. We don't want that glue on here. It'll sticky things up on us. I do like this mat a lot. I know there's a little bit of glare in there with the lights and stuff, but if you get the lights adjusted, then it usually doesn't come through on the cameras too much. And then I'm just cleaning these all lined up. Make sure that we got it straight on the inside here. And I'm just going to open it up and do my bone folder from the inside, because we don't want to flatten all that 3D image that we work so hard to get. Then next we want to put is our skates on here. So we've got this one already ready to go. So we can just take our Take Your Pick tool and pull these paper backings off. I'm dealing with those gems that are on there, so it's not laying very flat. So it's hard to get that paper backing off. Now these should be better down here. And this is just a piece of paper that I stuck on that because it didn't have a backing on it. Came off when I was putting it on. So we want to kind of have it go sideways. And you know what? I'm going to just stick it on this mat for right now. And we'll get this all done up. And then we can make sure we get them all lined up properly. So we will do, see, that's how it'll come. Sometimes they pop off. And we do that there. You go out there, you're going to see it from the front. You know how I know that? Because that's where I put when I first started this, and I noticed that it was popping through. So I'm going to do 3 across here. And then we'll go in the middle part. And we'll do 3 across. No, we'll only do 2 across because we're going to do 1 in the middle. Right there. And we're going to do 3 again here. Here. We're going to go up here. And we're going to do 3 up there. So now we have all those petals and stuff, leaves. So I'm not worried about it showing. And we'll do 1 up here. And you're probably wondering, why am I putting so many on? Because I don't want it to get all funked up from the rollers in the post office. And it's not all that expensive because it's about, sorry about my head there, it's about 2 dimensionals per penny when you're doing the mini dimensionals. The regular dimensionals are about a penny a piece. Okay, we got them all off from there. Let's put this on this side here. Just lightly setting it down. I'm not going to press it down yet. So I want to make sure that we've got them both down in the right spot. So I've got this one. I'm going to go a little bit lower there. And this one's going to be a little bit higher. kind of racing, right? All right, I think that's good. Let me just press those down. I'm going to take it from the inside with my bone folder again and just see if it doesn't line up a little bit better that way. Okay, I think we are done. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. Couldn't you see doing this card in the portrait mode with just one sled? And maybe use some of the other dies and stamps from that collection? Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it. And would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back next Sunday, December 1st at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be doing another holiday card. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.